আপনারা দেখছেন কমিউনিটি ম্যাটার্স।
সৌজন্যে মাহবুব অ্যান্ড কো অ্যাকাউন্টেন্টস।
Welcome back to the second part of Community Matters. This evening we've got a special program on Fashion Revolution Day. So we're talking about, with the founders, more about what is Fashion Revolution Day and what is actually going on, when is it, etc. I did mention that we do have a live studio audience. We're going to take a question now from Naomi Louise, who's a model from Southend.
Yes. What activities and events do you have planned for Fashion Revolution Day?
Do one of you ladies want to take this? One of the things we haven't established yet when Fashion Revolution Day is. So do you want to tell us a bit more about when it is and some of the things that's going on, where is it happening, when is it happening, etc.
Exactly. Fashion Revolution Day is taking place on the 24th of April, which is the anniversary of the Rana Plaza disaster.
Okay.
But there's a lot of events happening around that day as well.
So I know there are lots of countries, there are lots of activities happening all over the world. Can you give us some idea of some of the places and some of the activities you're already aware of? And I know there's lots of stuff going on, and on a daily basis things are being added, but to the best of your knowledge so far, how many countries are involved and the types of activities?
As of today, there's 51 countries involved.
Amazing.
And the activities are really varied. In Nepal, we have a workshop on how to clean up small and medium dye houses, so how to reduce the discharges into the river. And then in South Africa, there's an eco-film festival happening. We have flash mobs, or fash mobs as we're calling them, with people wearing clothing inside out, taking place in Bangladesh, in Barcelona, in Berlin, and different events happening all around the world. We've got events happening here at Somerset House. We're going to have an event at the House of Lords as well. So really
How do people get to find out more about some of these events, especially the ones in the UK and people getting involved?
We will have a calendar on our website. We're just finishing a new website at the moment, and there will be a calendar which shows all of the global events if people want to get involved.
I've been on your website. I think it's quite exhaustive in terms of there's a lot of information, pretty good. Gives you a very good idea of what's going on, where, etc. So that, I think the best thing for people to do is keep going onto the website, and they'll be able to see as things evolve, really. What about Yasmin? I know you're doing quite a few activities. Tell us a little bit more about some of the activities you're doing. Is it possible for our viewers to get involved?
Yeah, no, most definitely. There's lots of different things we're getting together. Like Carrie mentioned, there's the Turn Your Clothes Inside Out, all sorts of things like that, you know, talking on social media.
What's this Inside Out?
Well, Fashion Revolution team, we are asking everybody on Fashion Revolution Day, the 24th of April, to turn your clothes inside out, take a picture of your label and ask where you've bought your clothing from. Ask the supplier if it's from H&M, if it's from Topshop, whether it's ethical, unethical, whatever. Turn it inside out and ask the supplier and the shop, where are my clothes from and who made them? Because that's the thing, we want that connection with the garment maker. We want you to form that thread, because there is a thread, and we need to reconnect to the garment maker, to the consumer, to the one who's wearing that item. And also these companies need to be transparent. They should tell us where is it coming from and what is the process that is undertaken. I mean, some of the events, bar the hashtag and that we are going to...
Anybody anywhere in the world can get involved, and that's the unique thing is about it.
Hashtag inside out.
Friends and family all over the world. It's a very easy way to get involved.
I mean, Twitter's great. You know, use hashtag inside out, take a picture and tweet who made your clothes. Ask that question, and that's one of the things that we really want to see on the day. As well as that, I'm putting together an exhibition looking at garment making in Bangladesh and the history of garment making, because as we know, Bangladesh has an amazing history of producing beautiful garments. You know, and there's a very beautiful side to it, as well as the very ugly side that we're seeing in
Where and when are you doing this? Have you found
this is going to be at the London Muslim Centre in London, the heart of the British Bangladeshi community on the Whitechapel Road. So the London Muslim Centre will be hosting an exhibition on garment making and the history of garment making in Bangladesh.
Is that only going to be just for one day?
Not just for the day, it'll be running for the week. There'll be a few stunts going on that day, after that day. Over the weekend, on the Sunday, there will be an event held at the London Muslim Centre, Sunday evening, save the date, 27th of April, where we'll be looking at the different things that happened on the day, all around the world. We'll be looking at all the different things that took place, and we'll be discussing about ethics, Islam, fashion, Bangladesh, what changes need to be taking place. You can come along, ask your questions to an expert panel who will be there to uncover, unravel all the different things that took place on the day and all the different questions you have in order to highlight ethics in the garments industry. As well as that,
brilliant. Is there what else?
As well as that, I'm guest editing a very special edition of Islamique magazine, which will be Fashion Revolution Islamique. The magazine will be exploring ethics in the garments industry, Rana Plaza, 1 year on, how to be green, how to upcycle, recycle, following a garment, an ethical garment, right from its first stages of design. So it'll be a jam-packed magazine.
How does somebody access your magazine?
Well, the magazine, you can pick up a hard copy at our event on the 27th. You can pick up hard copies that will be distributed all around East London, as Islamique is on
is it available online?
And it is going to be available online. So keep your eye out. We'll be putting some stuff up on the Fashion Revolution site. If you follow me on social media, I'll make sure I keep you updated too. And of course, the at Fashion Rev.
Is there anything else you're doing?
As well as the magazine, the exhibition, the event on the 27th. I'll be turning my clothes inside out on the 24th and taking pictures on the Islam channel, where I produce programming. The whole day will be jam-packed with different programs from 11 o'clock in the morning on Women's AM. We'll be talking about women and the impact the garments industry has on women and the workforce, from a documentary looking at the garments industry, a follow-up from the one I did last year, to Living the Life, where our Life and Style program will explore Fashion Revolution Day and what it's all about.
Okay, I want to quickly come to Aziz Bhai. You've already mentioned you're planning on doing this big event in Birmingham. Tell me just a little bit more.
Well, we are kicking off with a photo shoot with the Lord Mayor of Oxford in the town hall.
Is he going to do Inside Out?
Oh yes, hope so. Yeah, definitely Inside Out, and I'm going to do the Inside Out as well, actually. And we've invited some member of the public, some member of the community who will get involved in that photo shoot. Then we got the Oxford Bangladeshi University Student Union who are getting involved. They're also going to have some sort of get together during the day, and in the evening we're holding the main event from our side and in Birmingham. Still early days to give you the full details, but what's going to happen is there is going to be a fashion show, which I mentioned earlier. And
where can people get more information rather than going into the full details now? You might not have. I know you're still working on that now. Where will people be able to get full information?
We will advertise on television. We will, people know, we'll find
are you like to put something on the Fashion Revolution
Absolutely,
website?
Yes, we're working together in partnership.
Be a good idea
yes, absolutely. So we'll be working together in partnership. And I think that will be probably the main event in England.
I know Parliament's in recess, if I'm right, on the 24th. Is that right?
Yes, but that doesn't prevent us from making sure that parliamentary colleagues, especially those women who really champion women's issues, are aware and become involved. But I think that over the long-term period, because this has a long-term vision, and if there is huge interest, you can imagine the power of that will speak. And so, of course, as members who are members of Parliament must take on board what public are saying. And I certainly hope that, earlier we were having a discussion about the possible implication on tax duties, maybe that we can talk about, VAT exemption, reduction, we can talk about labeling issues, and we can actually raise the issue of traceability of clothes, which is what is happening, and Parliament has huge role in terms of how it legislates.
I think that quite nicely leads on possibly our next question. If I can ask Fiona Barry, who's a human rights activist from Richmond, I believe you have a question. Plus, I know that you actually visited Bangladesh just after the Rana Plaza incident. Tell us a little bit about your trip, and then if you could ask us a question.
Well, almost a year ago, I was asked to be an ambassador to Bangladesh to go and support the victims of the Savar factory, and I was deeply honoured, and Bangladesh has very much touched my heart from that very moment, and I hope to return back to Bangladesh to continue with that support.
Thank you.
And my question is, what difference does Fashion Revolution Day hope to make in the industry?
I don't know who can take this. And coming back to you, Karen, you must have a vision, an idea, Yasmin, in terms of what you want to achieve.
Yes, and I mentioned earlier about our long-term vision, and we want to see, certainly this first year, it's all about traceability, and we really believe that traceability is a prerequisite to seeing greater improvements in the industry. And you might think that brands and retailers know where their clothes are from, but actually a recent survey found that only 63% of brands could tell you where their clothes were made, and a whopping 93% of them didn't know where, 63% didn't know where their clothes were from, and 93% didn't know where the raw materials are from. So what we thought was a simple question, who made your clothes, to try and get the brands and retailers to be more open, to be more transparent. It's actually really not that easy for them at all, because unfortunately they don't know.
I just want to ask you, from your point of view from the Chamber, how important is that we, the British Bangladeshi community, actually get involved in this campaign, given that the focal point of starting of this campaign is the Rana Plaza incident in Dhaka in Bangladesh?
Well, when the incident happened, it created a lot of negative image about the Bangladeshi garment industry, and as a Chamber, we're always trying to see the positive and also what is good come out of the disaster, which is new regulation has come in. The BGMA are working very closely with the government to implement some of the rules and regulations. In fact, I think 87 amendments were made or changes as board came in. Although in the recent survey they found only about 60% people are actually complying with the rules and regulations that are coming. According to the World Workers Union, they're still not happy with the 87 amendments added. They want more regulation to be put in. But having said that, I think what the Chamber is trying to say is, yes, people might think the 24th of April is a negative campaign against the garment industry in Bangladesh, which is not. What we're trying to say is, look, there are isolated incidents, and there are still a lot of needs to be addressed. There are a lot of problems. The rules and regulations are not being implemented, and people have to comply with the rules and regulations set to be a member of the garment industry. And there are a lot of success stories has come out of this. There are people like Dirid Limited, they produce something like 20 million garments a year who are supplying to Tesco and Sainsbury's and other shops. And if you go and look at the factory, there is like a wonderful state-of-the-art facilities. I went to a factory in Chittagong called Yangwon, a Korean company, which they supply most of the European Nike, produced for Nike. And you know what, I went in there, and something like 5,000 people work in that factory. And we had a tour by the CEO and the managing director of the company, and honestly, I was so impressed with the facilities from start to finish.
There are lots of good things going on.
Amazingly good things going on. Yeah, and this is what the Chamber does. And in fact, just to finish off, even in that factory, they had medical care facilities. Excellent. Which was impressive. And these are the stories that the Chamber needs to highlight. So that's our job.
Unfortunately, we'll come to the end of part 2. Do stay with us, and we'll be back very shortly.
আপনারা দেখছেন কমিউনিটি ম্যাটার্স।
সৌজন্যে মাহবুব অ্যান্ড কো অ্যাকাউন্টেন্টস।